What's going on? DJ Hazmat here.
Yeah, Matty Wells checking in as well.
Welcome back to Matt and Matt Sports Post Game. Browns in a loss
Yeah,
to the Kansas City Chiefs. A close one,
yeah,
a
close.
nail biter, a
Sure,
barn burner, if you
sure,
will.
sure.
The game that most people expected
Yeah,
for this to be.
I hate to say I told you so.
You hate to say what?
I hate to say
You hate to say what?
I told you so. By
You
the
told-
way, drop those comments. We'll read as many of those as we can. We know it's a bummer the Browns lose to the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City 33-29. But yeah, I just said I just had a bad feeling coming into this
I
game.
don't think you felt bad when anybody says, "I hate to say I told you so." They're really being a jerk at the end of the day.
Why am I being a jerk?
You know what I'm
I
saying?
really hate to say that I told you so.
No, you
Because I
don't.
did tell you so.
You didn't tell me nothing. You was all pumped up about the Browns at halftime.
For sure.
Even though you didn't even want to mention the fact that you picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win
No,
the
I
game.
didn't, because then
You
I get
didn't
painted
want
as a
to
villain.
because you thought at halftime that the Browns would probably win this game. And you know what? They didn't. And you know what? It's okay. It's
It
okay
is.
that the Browns
It
did
is.
not
It
win
is
the
for
game.
sure. For
We're not
sure.
going to trip about the game. Tell me, what was the final score? Give me all the numbers. Give me the vital statistics.
33-29. Baker Mayfield finished 21 of 28, for 321 yards. Did not throw a touchdown, threw one horrible interception in the fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, 27 of 36 for 337 yards. He also made our defenders look very silly a bunch of different times. And, Travis Kelce burned you all game. Tyreek Hill burned you all game. 11 catches, almost 200 yards for Hill through the air, man. It was a rough one to watch, especially in the second half. It just seemed like, let me ask you this. Do you think that we got away from our game plan a little bit in the second half?
Well, no. I think the story of the second half was the turnover. The fumble by Nick Chubb is really what really turned the momentum of the game. We had the game well in hand, man. We were doing what we wanted to do on offense. I think Kevin Stefanski decided that he was going to put the ball in Nick Chubb's hands and let him just, punish the Kansas City Chiefs for most of the second half. And that's what was happening. And then the fumble happened. And then that changed the momentum of the game. And that's what kind of got the game plan off track. Now, it's like you've been dominating a boxing match for the majority of the rounds, and then you get caught with a punch there late in the 10th or 11th, 10th, 8th, ninth round of a 10-round bout, and you're staggering, and you got to get your marbles together, and you got to come back and finish the thing. So that to me was the story of the game. The turnover, the fumble is really what led to the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game.
The fumble was the first horrible domino to fall. The botched punt was the second one, and that was just an ugly play. I mean, I understand that, old boy was cold sitting on the bench watching the game with the rest of us for an hour and a half. But when the time was called upon for him to do something, I mean, it didn't look like it wasn't a perfect snap, but it didn't look like the worst snap I've ever seen. He literally just got stone fingers and dropped the ball and then didn't know what to do with it after that. And I mean, that's when I really thought that the Browns were in trouble. The Nick Chubb fumble was extremely unfortunate, but I wonder, we got these two running backs. That was the third run in a row for Nick Chubb on that drive. And I understand that every running back is susceptible to that from time to time, but we got two premier running backs. I don't know why we have to run the same one 3 times in a row when the other guy only has 6 carries for the game. I don't know if I love that call, but it is what it is. You don't anticipate Nick Chubb fumbling there, so it is what it is, man. Baker looked to me, though, like he got a little tight in the second half, bro. I mean, what do you think about the way Baker played down the stretch when they knew he was going to throw the ball and he couldn't get it done?
You mean he couldn't get it done when he threw 21 for 28? Like, where was it that he wasn't getting it done when he was called upon to pass the ball, except for the interception? He threw one pass that was short. In yes, it was in a maybe more of a clutch situation of the game, but he threw 21 for 28. Give me Baker's stats again. I'll tell you what, I'll give you Baker's stats since you want to try to harp on Baker real quick. And yes, that was a bad interception at the end.
Horrible.
21 for 28, 320,
Horrible.
21 for
Not bad.
28, 21 for 28, 321 yards. He hadn't thrown a touchdown. He hadn't made a mistake in the game until that moment. And yes, it was bad. And I get it. So people are gonna harp on that particular play.
I'd like to know
Overall,
what Baker's numbers were in the second half. I know what his overall numbers were, and I know he had a nearly perfect.
How could his numbers be bad? He's 21 of 28.
Well, he didn't throw any
He
touchdowns.
only missed 7 passes in the whole game. Okay.
Yeah.
So before you start,
and if a majority, and my point is, if a majority of those, which I anticipate, came in the second half of the game, money time, then he did not play well down the stretch. Is my only point. Baker had an overall decent game, and I say decent because he did not throw any touchdowns, and he threw an interception that essentially sealed the game. That ball should not have been thrown.
I think we need to deal with some comments. We got a lot of comments coming in.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
Thank you for everybody for checking in. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna look this up. You do your thing.
Mr. T can't believe that we almost won the game. Okay, Mr. T.
Is that the real Mr. T?
I don't know why you can't believe. Then Joshua Darby is probably not a Browns fan. He put #choked. But
hey, I'm a Browns fan, and I think we choked. So I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Beat themselves. Mungo Diallo Demby said he had the Chiefs winning, but he still sees these two teams meeting in the AFC Championship. And as I was watching the game unfold in the second half, and these uncharacteristic things started to happen in order to help the Kansas City Chiefs win the game, a couple calls that went their way, a couple of mishaps with the Browns that wasn't happening throughout the game. And, it just made me think of the WWE. It's like, is this scripted? Or
no.
I'm going to finish my point. I'm going to finish my point. I'm going to finish my point.
Go ahead.
Because the Browns were handily dealing with the Kansas City Chiefs, which everybody here goes. If the Kansas City Chiefs don't win week 1, then they can't talk about 20-0 all season.
They're not going 20-0.
Listen. They may not go 20-0, but they want to talk about it beyond the first week. They want to be able to talk about 20-0 for a little longer than week 1. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a topic of conversation that they want to have on the national media. Can Kansas City go undefeated? And if the Browns beat them week 1, that conversation can't be had. So therein lies my conspiracy theory as to why the Browns had to show you really can't beat us.
I'm not going
to let you do that. We'll give you the game. Here you go. Nick Chubb, uncharacteristic fumble. Go ahead. Thor botched snap on the punt. Go ahead, Kansas City. You want the game? We'll give you a chance to take the game. Go right ahead, because we know that we really can beat your ass. But we'll do it.
We can't say that right now.
We'll do it like Mungo said. We'll do it when it counts in the AFC Championship game, if that's what it comes down to.
I hope
because
you're right.
I'm not discouraged at all about a week 1 week 1 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, who nobody thought we were going to beat in the first place. So have your win. It's just like, to me, it's like when you lose a pool game. It's like when you lose a pool game when you scratch on the 8 ball. That's what I feel like happened today. We scratched on the 8 ball.
All right. Well, a couple of things. First of all, Billy D. Averson is exactly right. Punter, you got one job, and that's to punt the damn ball. You're going to get a long snap, you're going to field it properly, and you're going to kick the damn ball to the other team. You got one job. You got no. On this play, bro, On the okay. Well, if you're
WWE,
gonna
baby.
play, if you're gonna play the conspiracy theorist card, one of my things that I say is it's impossible to argue with somebody who believes in conspiracy theories because they can literally say anything. I don't want to play that card. This is what I want to say. Nick Chubb, uncharacteristic fumble, sure. Did we watch Nick Chubb fumble on back-to-back possessions against New England a
Watch him,
season or
y'all.
two ago
Watch
before?
Matt.
No,
Watch
I'm just
Matt.
asking.
Watch Matt in this moment.
Have we seen Nick Chubb fumble on back-to-back possessions against the New England Patriots 2 seasons ago? Yes or no? He doesn't fumble all the time, but everybody in the NFL is prone that's going to touch the ball 10, 15, 20 times a game is prone to have fumbles every now and again. He had a horrible one. Your punter, who I don't know what the hell he was thinking about. Overthinking is probably what happened, but he's just as culpable for this loss as anybody else on the team, and he only played one down where he got a 0% on his performance, a 0. So that was horrible. Whether or not the NFL has a larger conspiracy at hand, I think, to combat what you're saying, I think that it would behoove the NFL to get the Browns back in a position where they're good. We're one of the strongest fan bases in the NFL, one of the longest championship droughts in professional sports. So I think that if there was some conspiracy theory, I don't know if it would be to make sure that Patrick Mahomes looks good every single week of every single season. And speaking of Patrick Mahomes, you talk about a quarterback who looked good. We didn't make him make any mistakes. None. You almost forgot in the fourth quarter that you got Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on that defensive line. So Myles and whoever else it was combined for the nice sack that ultimately got the Browns to have that final chance of a drive at the end in the fourth quarter. But it wasn't enough, man. It wasn't enough in the second half of this game to come away victorious against a team who was just in the Super Bowl. Now, to your point, we play the Texans next week. Now, they blew out the Jaguars today, so hopefully we can win, but I'm not worried long-term about where this team is, the position that we find ourselves in, especially considering no Odell Beckham Jr. So hopefully next time we play the Chiefs, Odell Beckham Jr. is on the field, and hopefully every idiot that says the Browns are better without Odell stops saying that trash because it's complete garbage. And as soon as ODB gets back onto the field, then we'll be able to have a little bit more fun with this thing. But at the end of the day, man, we just lost to a team that was in the Super Bowl a few months ago. Can't hang your hat there. Can't hang your hat there. It is what it is, man. You had a chance to win a game. You didn't do the things that you needed to do in the second half. Hopefully we can learn from that and move forward. What's your issue, man?
I was just wondering when you were going to be done.
Well, I got to get it off my chest. I don't know.
You sound like you opened and closed the show. Should I say any more? All right, I'm done.
If you say something else crazy, I don't know. I
didn't say anything crazy.
Well, you're talking about, conspiracy plots
go
against
ahead.
the
10
Browns.
more minutes for you.
No, go ahead. I just don't want to. Listen, we're not going to do a sports show and talk about conspiracy theories.
In these moments when the Browns lose, because I'll tell you, a few years ago when you guys might not have seen this show, Matt was terrible against the Browns. He was terrible talking about the Browns. So,
Are you talking about the season where we won one game, or are you talking about the season where we won 0 games? Like what am I supposed to say?
I'm talking about any season that I've known you in, that you more of a hater than a supporter, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
just being critical.
I'm not being critical. I just listen. And what I'm saying to you,
Billy D with another hot take. Billy D coming with them hot takes. Don't ignore his takes right now, man. He's coming through with the hot take.
What he
hot takes. ODB needs to be back on the field.
Who's ODB?
We'll be fine. Y'all know who ODB is, man.
The old dirty bastard needs to be back on the field. Okay, Wu-Tang.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that, man.
You know who ODB is?
Yeah, I know who ODB is.
So we're going to resurrect him from the dead and put him in a football uniform and put him out on the field. And
one of the worst, best rappers of all time.
Let him rap us into a victory. Thank you, Billy D, for saying that ODB needs
Billy,
to be playing.
I see exactly what you mean, man. The Browns are not a better team without Odell. That take is absurd, and I cannot wait until he's back on the field. But go ahead.
What I'm saying is, listen, the Browns were picked by Vegas to lose this game. They
Yeah.
were picked by many to lose this game.
Yeah.
They nobody. So us losing this game is nothing. This is game one of a 17
Long way to
week
go.
season. We will see the Kansas City Chiefs again when it really matters. You understand what I'm saying? We had nothing really to lose in this game. What we would have had is maybe a little too much hype going for us. Maybe we needed to take this L to continue on with the rest of the season and handle business the way we know we can handle business because we're a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs. Take the turnovers away, we probably win that game.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that to me, that was the difference in the game. Kansas City had no life. They had a fluke play when him running for his life and he threw a duck up in the air and he caught that. A fluke play. Come on, man. The Kansas City Chiefs were in dire straits in this game for the whole game. We demonstrated that we were the better team. We shot ourselves in the foot by turning the ball over. Two turnovers cost us the game. And that is the reason why the Cleveland Browns lost to the Kansas City Chiefs today. Don't give me a whole dissertation on Baker Mayfield. Don't give me anything about anything except those two key turnovers that happened in this late in the second half. And that is what lost us the game. So we can just
Yes.
move on. And
Yes.
but we're still a better team, in my opinion,
Then who?
than the Kansas City Chiefs.
But bro. Listen.
Don't even argue with me. If you
Listen.
want to
I
argue
don't
with me, you're not a Browns fan.
I don't want to argue with you. And I
Then
am a
don't.
Browns fan.
Don't
You can
argue.
be
We're a better team.
you can be critical.
We're a better team.
You can admit to what you're
We're a
seeing
better
with your
team.
eyes, and then you can also still be a fan.
I saw it with my eyes.
You
We're
saw
a better team than the
How?
Kansas City Chiefs.
How?
Had not been for
What's up, Mr.
two
Gibson?
turnovers
Yes,
and a
but
fluke play
their
late
team
in the second half, they had no answers.
but their
Okay.
team forced the
Michael
turnovers
Gibson
and our
says, "Hey,
team did not.
from San Antonio, yes, you are right. Just week one, but I am frustrated because Chiefs made adjustments that it seems our guys didn't. I wonder if having OBJ and not
I
ODB
wonder.
would have helped. You know, I don't know. I don't deal in
Great take, Michael.
hypotheticals.
Great
It's not a
take.
great because we can't. What if Odell Beckham Jr. was in a gray T-shirt on the sideline, and we still had control of the game? Oh, what play would Odell Beckham have made that would have won this particular game? What did we do that what did we not do in this game that Odell Beckham would have made that huge of a difference in? We had control of the game.
The number
He
one thing that I
fumbled
think
the ball.
number one thing that I think Odell does for your team immediately is provides more space for the best offensive line in football and the best running back tandem in football to operate. The number one thing I think the number
I'll
one
just
thing.
give
Hold
you
on,
this.
hold on,
I'll
hold
just
on.
no. I'm
Hold
gonna
on,
give you
hold
this. I'll give you this. I'll give you this, Matt. The play to Schwartz when he dropped the ball. If that
Yeah.
had been Odell Beckham, that
Yes.
one play out of an entire
Yes.
game is the one time that I
Okay.
think
But I
Odell
think
Beckham Jr. may have made a difference in the game in that particular play. One play,
but I
not
think
the game.
But I think that you will admit that the game would have been called differently if your best offensive weapon is on the field, number one. Number two, I think that in the immediate future, as soon as Odell is Odell, and the NFL knows it, and they have to prepare for Odell, the receiver, while either Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt is on the field, they have to prepare for both outcomes. They cannot just sell out to stop Chubb, which they did on our final couple of drives. There were plays that netted 0 yards, handoffs to Chubb. Whereas in the first half, to Michael Gibson's point, we were moving the ball on the ground, but Kansas City adjusted in the second half and they shut some of that stuff down. Oh, they also forced a turnover. It's not like Nick Chubb was running by himself and he dropped the ball. He was running through a crowd and they punched the ball out. So Kansas City, I think it was Mike Gibson's credit, did make adjustments, but also I think there's something that we have to remember. Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame caliber head coach. He had Donovan McNabb in a championship game year after year. They got to a Super Bowl. I know they lost to Tom Brady. He's got Patrick Mahomes, and they've been to the Super Bowl back-to-back years, heavily favored to go to a Super Bowl for a third year in a row. If he takes two different teams to these consecutive championship games, we all know that Andy Reid is going to end up in Canton when it's all said and done. On the flip side of that, our head coach is in his second year. Sure, he's the reigning coach of the year, but he's also still in his second year. And the Kansas City Chiefs just played in the Super Bowl this year, this calendar year. So
Got their
at the end of
asses
the day,
whooped.
to the GOAT, at the end of the day, we hung in there. We did not get embarrassed today. We did not lose badly. And I don't think that we should be upset about anything that happened on that football field today. I just wish that we would have had a better outcome. And I believe, one, if we had Odell ready to go on the field, we would have had a better outcome, just as we would have in that playoff game against the same team. And number two, if we would have just did some things a little bit differently when we handed the ball to Nick Chubb for the third straight time, right when he fumbled it, I called it out to my TV. Why are we running him again? Where is Kareem Hunt? We have Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is a starting running back on a lot of NFL teams in the league, probably over 20. So that was just a little bit suspect to me. Outside of that, can't really be mad.
But during our comeback, when we came back to take the score again, they did give it to Kareem Hunt. So, I mean, it's
Yeah, I just
it's whatever.
think we could have used
If
Kareem Hunt more. Is all I'm
listen,
saying.
man, it's hindsight is 2020, man.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
if Nick Chubb doesn't fumble the ball, he's a beast. And he's
Yeah, but he did.
pounding you into submission. But yes, he fumbled the ball, so you can't say we shouldn't have gave it to Nick Chubb. It's like, do you think Nick Chubb is a bell cow running back or no? So give him the ball. Yes.
Do I think he is? Sure, he
Well,
can
then
be.
in those
But your
situations,
organization is
he just
paying
needs to
two
hold on
running
to the
backs.
ball.
But
He
your
fumbled
organization,
the ball. If
your
you want to say they made a good defensive play, like you said, he punched the ball out. Good defensive play. But
why is
in those
Kareem Hunt here?
situations,
Why is he here?
he's listen.
Do you
It
think we
doesn't
can have
matter why
a
he's
much?
here.
Do you think we can have a much cheaper option as the secondary running back on this team? Yes or
It
no?
isn't about whether or not
I'm
Kareem
just
Hunt is
saying.
here. All I'm saying is Kareem. Nick Chubb's number was called. Nick Chubb was rolling, just like any
He was.
back you've seen in history that gets rolling. You give them the rock. He needs to hold on to it. He's the one that just got paid. He's the one who's the lead running back on our team. He fumbled, and that's it.
Yeah, that basically is it. Yeah, I can't argue you there. You know, I just wish that things would have played out a little differently. But at the end of the day, like you stated at the beginning of this post game show, we were right there, and we can't be too upset with the outcome. We lost to a
I'm not
team
upset at
that's
all
been
because I
back
know this is
the back-to-back Super Bowls by 4 points. So it is
this
what it is,
this is the storyline that they want in the NFL, and they got it.
bro. Come, listen.
Don't
I
dispute
don't
me.
subscribe to that.
You don't
For the
have to.
record. For the record.
It's the storyline. It's the narrative that they want. They want to be able to talk about 20-0 possibilities. You can't talk about that if the Browns beat the Kansas City Chiefs week 1. When they saw that the Browns were running away from this game, a call came in. They said, hey, second half, we need things to go a little different.
Do you have proof of this?
Oh, boy, I know.
Do you have proof of this? Is there anything
Michael
on the record?
Do y'all think Chubb was gassed, though? No, I don't think Chubb was gassed. Gas is he was not gassed.
Well, as he said at the end of that statement, announcer said it was pretty damn hot. Before the game, I heard that the high was going to be around 94 degrees.
Ask Nick Chubb if he think he was gassed.
I'm sure Nick Chubb would have liked to get a couple of more carries in that game. If we can get him on the horn right now, I think he would have said, I think he would agree that he could have used a few more carries in that game. Listen,
Nick Chubb was
nobody's here.
not gassed.
Nobody's
He's a
here.
bell cow running back.
Nobody's here to dog Nick Chubb. That's not what this is about. The only thing that I'm saying is that you have Kareem Hunt for a reason. Kareem Hunt is not a cheap number 2 option at RB. He's not.
And we used Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt scored.
We could have used him more. He
You
was
just wanted to use.
starting.
You
He
just think
was
he would have used him on that
fam.
particular play?
He was
Man, stop
starting
arguing me. Nick
for.
Chubb fumbled the block.
He was starting
Nick
for the
Chubb.
Chiefs.
I'm sure Nick Chubb is at a
He
press
was
conference
starting
somewhere
for the
right now.
Chiefs.
I'm sure Nick Chubb is at a press conference somewhere right now, owning up to the fact
Do
that
you
he
think?
fumbled the freaking rock.
Do you think
when he
if
know he
Kareem
shouldn't
Hunt,
have.
do you think if Kareem Hunt was in Kansas City right now, he will be their starting running back? Yes or no?
Doesn't matter.
So you're not going to answer the question. I just want to know if you're going to answer the question or not. So you're not going to answer that
Of
question.
course, he would be.
Okay, of course,
Because he
he's
was
a
their starting
beast.
running back.
Because he's a
He would be
beast,
their starting
bro.
running back because he was their
He's
starting running back.
nasty. Kareem Hunt, as a bell cow rusher, could
Now
challenge
you want
1250, 1500 yards for a
to give the
season.
ball to Kareem Hunt instead of Chubb.
No. I'm just saying that we
This
shouldn't dismiss that.
bruh,
We
he
shouldn't
fumbled.
dismiss that.
He fumbled.
He's here
This,
for a
this
reason.
isn't.
It was
Don't turn this.
94
Don't
degrees
don't.
outside.
You can't turn this into Chubb versus Hunt. This is he fumbled, man. He
Damn.
fumbled the rock.
I just wanted to win that game, bro.
Yes,
That's all.
but I didn't care
That's
if we won or lost because
Well.
I know when we win in the postseason, that's when it will matter most.
Okay.
So we can end on that because
We'll be right
your
here.
pessimistic ways are coming out.
I don't know why I gotta be.
I don't want to hear
why
you.
the realist gotta be pessimistic.
If you throw another parade for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes on this here show, I swear to goodness. Listen, sir. You either a Browns fan or you're not. So therefore, I don't want to hear about what Andy Reid. He's this great coach and this and that. He fumbled the ball. Andy Reid's great coaching didn't win him a Super Bowl last year. Andy Reid,
you got a fan here. Jeffrey Lanier agrees with you. Chubb fumble didn't lose the game. Big plays by Hill and Kelsey cost the game, especially the 75-yard touchdown play from the supernova, the superstar.
Definitely killed the game.
Definitely. I don't know how you can separate the two things from happening.
It turned the whole momentum in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
We were about to drive and score again.
And we would have been up. We would have been up 2 scores, and
so
it would have been huge.
Man, what game were you watching? There wasn't no big plays.
He's agreeing
that
with
fluke.
You.
Fluke play to Tyreek Hill.
Is it a fluke though? If that's
the ball was wobbling like Peyton Manning.
But if that's what Mahomes does, is it a fluke?
He does nothing.
Okay,
fluke.
All right.
That was a fluke play. I'm not giving that play to Mahomes. That ball was wobbly. It was a lame duck. Anybody could have caught that ball if they were paying attention when it actually went up in the air. They could have. Anybody could have made an adjustment to that ball. Man, come on, man. That lame duck pass, man. Y'all get off Patrick Mahomes Johnson.
Say it.
I said it.
The Browns play the Texans next week, who blew out the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. Tyrod Taylor, who got screwed over for the LA Chargers last year.
Got ejected. Talking about dude that got ejected. No, we're not going to talk about that bull crap.
Yeah, who cares?
That was the first half. That was the first quarter.
It was dumb though. It was dumb on both sides.
That didn't cost us the game. Okay.
No. No, we were winning. We were winning well after that. Browns open as an early heavy favorite against the Texans by 11.5 points. The over/under is set at 48, and it is the Browns' home opener. 1:00 start next Sunday afternoon, and there will be no suspense. I will pick the Browns to win that game against Tyrod Taylor, as they will bounce back. But this is the type of game that you can build off of, because as I said, we didn't get blown out in this game. It's a different feel. We're all emotional and salty right now because we should have won it.
We scratched on the 8-ball.
It's awesome. We did scratch on the 8-ball, but we were right there. We can play with them. We know we beat the Steelers twice last season, who beat the Bills today. We know that we are a contender in this league, and the Browns will be around. So don't be too upset about this loss. We'll be right back. We'll
Ladies and gentlemen,
back. We'll be 1-1 next week. We might be in last place going into next week, but we'll be 1-1 after.
Us and Baltimore will be tied because I picked Baltimore to lose tomorrow night, which they will.
We'll see.
They depleted whatever. Come on, man. Listen, the Browns are the best team in the AFC.
Wow, that's a hot take. Coming
and
off
on that note, I'll see you guys next week.
I'll let you have that. Go Browns. We appreciate all the comments. Understand that we will be coming at you guys halftime and every post game of every week, and Jamal said he has the GTFOH audio. So I don't know if you want to run that. It's up to
Run
you,
it.
big dog.
I'll tell you, I got it. I already have
All
mine.
right, let's run that. We'll get out of here.
We was almost gone.
So every week, GTFOH is a segment where me and Haz talk about who needs to get the out of
Play
here.
it.
And I could probably say it, bro. I can't.
Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Are we playing it?
Yes. Relax. It's not playing. All right. We'll bring you a GTFOH next week. Next week. Hey, earlier start. Game time is 1:00 next week. So halftime will probably be around 2:20, 2:30. And then we'll be right here as soon as the game is over with a much better attitude, as the Browns will be 1-1 after they whoop on the Houston Texans. All right.
Diane, don't worry. We never win our season opener. Okay. And I lost some money. I lost some money today. I got some people talking me into last minute bets, and I took it, and we lost. But I don't believe in jinxes anymore. So it ain't my fault. They just need to Nick Chubb hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. So here we go. All right, Brownies. Here we go. We getting on up out of here. For Matt and Matt Sports, I'm DJ Hazmat.
Yeah, and I'm Matty Wills. Go Browns. Don't worry about this. We'll be right back
next Sunday.